Well, hello there, friends and neighbors. Welcome to Gentry Vintage. I'm Josh, your host. I hope everybody's doing well today. I'm going to do a little video, a little something different today. I do have a pipe sitting here, but I finished it already, and I was sitting here actually going through some records, and I just got to thinking, and I thought I'd do a video for a few minutes. So if you're not a music fan, if you don't enjoy music, this is probably not the video for you. So I would highly recommend that you move on and watch somebody else's video, or wait till my next video comes out. So music. I am a music lover. Music has always been one of them things that's been near and dear to my heart, something that I enjoy immensely. It's always been a big part of my life. I play guitar a little bit. I don't consider myself a good guitar player by any means. The wife tends to disagree, but I like to say that I just fumble around with the guitar. As a kid, I was never the kind of kid to sit down and just be disciplined to be able to sit down and practice for hours. I'd much rather be outside. I didn't even watch a lot of TV when I was a kid. I was always the kind of kid that wanted to be outside, whether it was riding horses, fishing, playing in the woods, just riding a bicycle, whatever it was, working on an old car as I started getting a little older. Just stuff like that. I enjoy music, absolutely love music, but the discipline of sitting down to master an instrument just never was me. When I was in high school, I played trumpet and I played drums. I was first chair trumpet. However, when I was in school, you had one of two options. You either joined band or you joined chorus. And I definitely wasn't going to sing. So I definitely picked band. And I learned to play the trumpet, and I was pretty darn good at it. I enjoyed playing drums. I was pretty good at that. But after high school, I never touched a trumpet again. It's actually been hanging on the wall out in the sunroom at my dad's house for years and years. And I sold my drum set to a friend many years ago. And I actually sold my guitar last year. Yeah, last year. I actually sold my guitar that I'd had for years. And main reason is I had some I was needing the money. So I needed the money, and the guitar was just sitting in the case in the closet, and I said, why not let somebody else enjoy it, and eventually I'll just get the guitar that I really want. It was a really good guitar, but it had no sentimental value, so it wasn't that big of a deal. And I will get another one someday soon, hopefully. But music has, as I said, has always been something that's been very important to me. When I was a kid, I always, if I didn't have a Walkman or a boom box or something, nearby where I could listen to music, something was wrong. I remember when I was a kid, my dad gave me a little Sony cassette player, and I would take that cassette player and record songs off the radio, and I'd lay in bed at night and I'd just wear them tapes out. And even to this day, when I go to bed at night, I put earbuds in my ears and fall asleep listening to music. That's just what I do. Like I said, I've been in here going through some of my records, and I've had music playing the whole time I've been in here. I primarily listen to classic country and bluegrass music primarily. It's not all I listen to, but those are my two go-to genres. Music for me is one of those things that's therapeutic. I can be having a world's worst day, whether it just be an aggravating day at work or just a day where I'm a little down. I've recently lost my dad, and I'm not gonna lie, there's been days that I've been a little down in the dumps and just feeling a little blue. And I can come home and turn some music on and piddle around out in the shop or something, and it instantly will make me feel better. My uncle was a professional bluegrass guitar player. And unfortunately, I have no idea what I just heard outside. It sounded like something done blowed up. Unfortunately, my uncle was an alcoholic, and it put an early end to his musical career. I do have a record album over here that my uncle played on, and unfortunately, we don't know a whole lot of people that my uncle played with, or albums that he may have been played on. I was talking to my uncle's son, my cousin, back a few months ago, and we were talking about that, and he said, he said, when I was a kid, I always remember Dad coming home, and he'd mentioned, he'd been in the studio with Johnny Cash, or somebody famous. But he said at the time, he said that I was a kid, and he said that was just my life. He said I didn't think anything about it. He said, now that I've gotten older and Dad's gone, he said I wish I would have documented all that stuff. He said I just remember Dad mentioning people all the time, and it just, at the time, it didn't mean anything to me. My uncle, as I said, was a bluegrass guitar player, and my cousin has never really been into that kind of music. He's always been rock and roll and everything. So even more, I guess that's why he didn't really think much about it. But obviously, as he's gotten older, it matters more to him. But my uncle just never was the kind of person to brag about people that he played with. I know he played in the Grand Ole Opry House Band for a little while. He had played with Tom T. Hall for a little while. He had an opportunity to go on the road with Bill Monroe, and at the time my uncle was married and had 2 young children, and he said the job didn't pay enough, and he turned it down. He also had an opportunity to go on the road with Michael Martin Murphey, and he said he just wasn't bluegrass enough, and he said I didn't want to play with him. But as he got older, he said those were 2 opportunities that I should have took, that I missed out on, that could have changed my life. And who knows if he would have took those opportunities, who knows what it would have done for his career and his life in general. But anyway, so as I said, I primarily listen to classic country and bluegrass. I do listen to other genres as well. I have about, I don't even know, I need to count them, probably 300 or 400. Let's see, there's some over there. Probably 300 or 400 78s that are, majority of it's probably 20s, 30s, 40s, big band. There are some blues in there. Some of it is what they called back then in the 20s and 30s especially. They didn't really call it country or bluegrass. It was hillbilly music. Some of it's that, and some miscellaneous stuff in there with it. But I enjoy, Tommy Dorsey, of course, Glenn Miller, Benny Goodman, stuff like that. I think there's some Ethel Waters over there. I've even got some Frank Sinatra over there. Let's see. Another thing I really enjoy, my dad was a record collector, and that's just something I grew up with. And my dad was a huge 50s, early 60s music person. He loved the 50s. His favorite 2 people, I believe, was Buddy Holly and Elvis. And of course, he absolutely loved their music, and a lot of other stuff similar to that. And I enjoy listening to that stuff as well. My mom absolutely hates like 50s, the doo-wop stuff and all that, and I love it. I can throw on a doo-wop music and listen to that for hours. Especially the earlier doo-wop stuff that was more like the quartet kind of stuff. I really enjoy that. I even like listening to barbershop quartet stuff. I would love to go. They have a barbershop quartet convention. I forget where they have it. I don't remember if it moves around to different places every year or if it's in the same spot. I want to say it moves around. But I wouldn't even mind going to a barbershop quartet convention. I think that'd be kind of cool. Speaking of quartets, I love the old gospel quartets. Lately, I've been listening to a lot of the Blackwood Brothers quartet. I love the old gospel stuff as well. I like some of the 70s Southern rock, classic rock, whatever you want to call it. Leonard Skinner, Allman Brothers. Of course, I love Marshall Tucker Band. But I don't get really into the really into the things like ACDC. I can't really just can't hang with it. Um, Another thing I cannot stand is like the 80s, late 70s, 80s, whatever, the disco era kind of stuff, Bee Gees and stuff like that. I can't do it. And I absolutely despise rap and heavy metal. The wife is actually a big heavy metal fan. Um, I went to one heavy metal concert with her, and I said I won't never do it again. And I kind of feel bad because she is going to a bluegrass concert with me next month, and I kind of feel bad that I guess I owe her another heavy metal concert. But next time I'll take some earplugs or something, because that's, whew, my goodness, I can't deal with it. But yeah, rap and heavy metal are two things that you will not find me listening to whatsoever. I even love some of the old Dixieland jazz stuff. I just think that stuff is just cool. But yeah, I tell people all the time that I primarily listen to classic country and bluegrass, which I do, but I listen to a lot of other stuff too. I have a playlist on my phone that I listen to out in the shop a lot that's just kind of a mix of different stuff. And the wife says it's a little schizophrenic because you might hear some Bill Monroe one minute and then hear some Buddy Holly, and might hear some Glenn Miller, Oak Ridge Boys. You just never know. But it's kind of all over the place. But I just love music. It's like I said, it's always been something that it's really been near and dear to my heart. You know, I do collect records. My dad, I remember when I was a kid, me and my dad used to go to yard sales, flea markets, and all that all the time, junk stores, antique store, junk store, whatever, all the time. And my dad would always sit there and flip through records. But if we'd hit up a flea market or a yard sale, a lot of times if there was a milk crate full of records or a box full of records, my dad wouldn't even hardly flip through it. He'd just be like, "What do you take for the whole box?" At one point in time, my dad had probably over 10,000 records, and I don't even know if he realized what all he had. A lot of times he'd buy a whole box and he wouldn't even really go through it. He'd just bring it home and add it to the room full of records. He downsized quite a bit. He downsized to probably a couple hundred or so, but he had a buddy of his that they used to work together many years ago, and we took everything over to him. He was retired and had a heart attack, and he was just kind of sitting around the house, and we hauled a few truckloads of records over to his house, and he sat there and went through every single record and alphabetized them. And my dad at the time was trying to downsize his collection, so this was back in the early 2000s, I want to say, something like that. Probably late 90s, early 2000s, right when eBay was getting started. I can't remember when eBay first got started, but I remember he had put a bunch of them on eBay for my dad and sold them, and then he had reached out to a couple other guys he knew that collected records, and they bought a bunch of the stuff. But unlike my dad, when I collect records, I collect the stuff I know that I'm going to listen to. Stuff I know I like, stuff I know I'm going to listen to. I'm not going to have a whole shelf full of AC/DC and the Bee Gees and stuff that I know that I'm never going to get out and listen to. I try to stick with the things that I like. Now, when it comes to, I won't lie, when it comes to 78s, I'll do like my dad. And I'll if there's a whole box of them, I'll say we take the whole box, and I'll just bring the whole box home and go through those. And I've never sold any of them. I just keep them. Only ones I've gotten rid of are ones that are cracked, or 78s. You look at them wrong and they can shatter. But I do keep those. So I guess I take after my dad when it comes to 70. My dad didn't really collect 78s, but when it comes to 78s, I guess I collect like my dad collected LPs. I got a record player turntable sitting here on the desk over here next to me. I don't know if the camera's showing it or not. I don't think it is, but it plays 33s, 45s, and 78s. And in the other room in there, I got a 1921 crank-up Victrola that's all acoustic, no electric. I got one of those in there as well, but yeah, I just love music. It's something that I've always loved. Like I said, I grew up around it. Um, my uncle always played guitar, and my dad was a record collector, and it's just something that was kind of ingrained into me, I guess. But yeah, I just want to talk about that for a few minutes since I was in here going through some records. Um, I reckon that's about it. Post up in the comments for me if you will. Let me know what kind of music you like listening to, if you like music. If you play an instrument, tell me what you play. But let me know what kind of music you enjoy listening to. It doesn't matter what it is. If there's any artist or whatever you enjoy specifically, that's cool too. Otherwise, you can just tell me what genre, whatever you like. But yeah, that's about all I had. I got a couple things I want to do. I got off work early today, and got a couple things I want to take care of around here this afternoon. And I'm gonna finish kind of going through and sorting through some of these records over here. But other than that, I reckon we'll see y'all very soon on another Gentry Vintage video. But until next time, I wish blessings for all and lots of luck to you and yours.